In the summer of 2020, when there were protests across the country after a police officer murdered George Floyd, many progressives and liberals were talking about defunding police departments nationwide. One local radio show asked then-Senator Kamala Harris where she stood on the Defund the Police movement. Take a listen to this.
Defund the police. The issue behind it is that we need to reimagine how we are creating safety. And when you have many cities that have 1/3 of their entire city budget focused on policing, we know that is not the smart way and the best way or the right way to achieve safety. This whole movement is about rightly saying we need to take a look at these budgets and figure out whether it reflects the right priorities. For too long, the status quo thinking has been you get more safety by putting more cops on the street. Well, that's wrong.
Now, in another interview that same week, Harris praised Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti for removing $150 million from the police budget and investing that money in social services. Listen to this.
That's a legitimate conversation, and it requires a really critical evaluation. I applaud Eric Garcetti for doing what he's done.
Now, some important context here is that polling showed that reducing police budgets was never really popular, even in 2020. A Pew Research poll found that year that just 25% of adults supported reducing police budgets that year, and by 2021, that support had decreased to just 15%.
In June of 2020, just after George Floyd's death, then California Senator Kamala Harris tweeted, "If you're able to, chip in now to the Minnesota Freedom Fund to help post bail for those protesting on the ground in Minnesota." Nearly 2 years later, on April 25, 2022, Sean Michael Tillman was arrested in St. Paul on a gross misdemeanor indecent exposure charge. Bail was set at $2,000, and he was put in jail. On May 3, 2022, the Minnesota Freedom Fund paid his $2,000 bail, and he was released. On May 20th, Tillman murdered a man at the light rail station in downtown St. Paul. He is now serving a life sentence for that crime.